All right, therapy ball. Start with it on the floor. We're going to place our heel on the ball, and you get to adjust how much weight you add to the ball that honors your body. So you can take all of your weight, you can take some of your weight. For those of you that are on carpet, that's going to absorb some of the tension that the therapy ball would offer to this area. So you may be able to add more weight than you typically do if you're on carpet where there's padding. Just take a moment to hold here. And more importantly, I want you to focus on your breath. Notice how you hold on to tension and how you may brace yourself in this position. If there's a lot of work happening in your body to stand on the ball, use a wall to hold on to. Notice if you create tension in your chest, in your breath, in common areas like your jaw, the top of your shoulders. Around your eyes, between your eyebrows. And slowly taking some of the pressure off the ball, keeping a little bit on so that the ball doesn't run away from you. We're going to swipe our heel side to side. And then slowly move the ball up to where the arch of your foot meets your heel. And then we're going to add pressure as it feels good for us. You adjust to what your body desires. And then back off some of that pressure, keeping enough pressure on the ball so that it doesn't get away from us. And we're going to swipe side to side. And we're going to take the ball from the center of our heel to our big toe. And as we draw it towards our big toe, we're keeping pressure on the ball. Taking our time. And then roll the ball back to our foot, to our heel of our foot, and then to our second toe. And then back towards our heel, into our third toe. Back to our heel, to our fourth toe. Back to our heel, adding pressure in both directions. And then to the outside of our foot towards our pinky toe. And back towards our heel. And then we're going to take the ball to the center of our foot where we have our heel on the floor. And then take a little bit wider stance. And we're going to roll the ball towards our pinky toe side as we keep pressure on the ball, and then roll to our big toe side. To our pinky toe side, to our big toe side. And then taking the ball to the center of the metatarsal arch, so where our toes connect to our foot. And then we're going to roll to the big toe mound, and then to the little toe mound. To the big toe mound, to the little toe mound. And come back to center, finding the center of that metatarsal arch. We're going to use our toes and reach down to grab the ball. Now, some of us won't get there and some of us will, so don't get hung up on if you can actually touch the ball. You're just attempting to grip it with your toes. And then you're going to lift your toes and see if you can spread your toes. And lower and grip. And lift and spread. Lower and grip. And lift and spread. Lower our toes down and relax. We're going to switch feet. Starting with our heel. Taking as much pressure as feels comfortable for you. And release, keeping some pressure on the ball so that it doesn't move out from underneath us. Swipe our heels side to side. And this doesn't need to be the max amount of pressure that you can offer. Oftentimes, just finding movement and blood flow through these areas is all that we need, and it's something that we don't get in our normal everyday movement. Maybe you notice certain parts of your heel might be sore or tight or just need a little more attention. And then bringing the ball up to where the heel of our foot meets the arch of our foot. And again, adding only enough pressure that feels good for us. And then swiping our foot side to side as it feels good for us. Coming to center, right about the center of where our heel and our arch meet. And then we're going to roll the ball with pressure towards the big toe mound. Rolling back towards our heel, keeping that same pressure applied. And then back towards our second toe, so heading towards the big toe, but just a little bit over. And then back towards our heel. And then to our third toe. And back towards our heel. And to our fourth toe. And back towards our heel. And towards the outside of our foot. And back towards our heel. Find the center of our foot. Heel comes down to the floor. So it should be just about a place where your heel can rest and you can still add weight to the ball. Then walk our feet out a little bit wider. And we're going to roll to the big toe mound and then to the little toe mound. Rolling side to side, keeping weight on the ball. And then take the ball up to the metatarsal arch, so the arch of our foot that goes from our big toe to our little toe mound. And we're going to do the same thing, roll side to side. Coming to the center of that arch, the center of your foot, grip the ball or reach for the ball with our toes, and then lift our toes and spread them wide. And relax our toes down, reaching to grip the ball, and lift our toes and spread them wide. And lower our toes and grip the ball, and lift and spread. And relax our foot. We're going to place both therapy balls back in the bag. And then grab a seat. And then we're going to cinch the bag up so it's nice and snug. And then noticing the groove in between the two balls, that groove we're going to place on the back of our ankle. And it doesn't matter which leg that we start with, we're going to get both. And then I want you to extend your leg out so that you can find that kind of soft tissue just above the bonier part of our ankle. That part is going to be resting inside that groove so that both therapy balls are kind of on each side. And then we're going to take our hands behind us to a place that honors our shoulders. Using core stability, lift our hips and slide the ball down a little bit and pause. We're not going super far just yet. I want you to hold, feeling that tension release to the back of your ankle, back of your calf. And then we're going to roll our toes and our knee out. So the whole leg rolls out. We're going to take a little pressure on the outside of that leg. So whatever foot you're working with, you're just rolling your foot out. Then roll it back to center and roll in so that your knee and toes come in. And again, it does not have to be a big movement. Roll back to center and then out. And center and in. Noticing where you have the most tension, if any at all. And then come back to center. We're going to lift our hips and roll down or up our leg, scooting down our mat, holding. Just allowing the weight of our leg to offer pressure onto the therapy balls. And roll our leg out. And roll our leg in. Rolling out. And in. Coming back to center, lift our hips, roll up a little bit higher. And the same thing, stopping, pausing, offering pressure to the back of our calf. And then roll out and in. Out and in. If there's one area that needs a little more attention, feel free to stay in that area. After you've gone a couple times in both directions, you've got blood flow moving through there. And if there's definitely tension on one side more than the other, hold there. See if you can find a little more balance between the muscles on the inside or the outside of your leg. Or maybe it's center. If you need more pressure, then to lean forward, taking your hands, reaching them forward towards your bent leg, or you can add your arm to or hand to the leg that you're rolling. And just leaning forward adds more weight to the areas that you're looking for. And then when you're ready, roll up your calf a little bit. Stay out of the back of the knee. So you're only going up towards the top of our calf. Roll out and in. Hold in any areas that need a little more attention. And if you've already made it to the top of your calf, we're going to move to the other leg. If you haven't, roll up a little bit further, making sure you get to the top of the calf, but not behind the knee. And then rise up. We're going to take all of our weight off of that leg. We're going to scoop back and move to the other side. So again, starting at the ankle, letting that groove rest inside the therapy balls, in between the two therapy balls. Taking off any initial tension that we may hold on to. So oftentimes when we add pressure to areas within our body, that sends a signal to hold on and build tension or support or brace. So we want to let that go before we start moving around on it. When you're ready, roll out and in. If you're on a bony part, scoot up a little bit more, do the same thing. You don't feel anything at all or feel the need to go up a little bit further because that area doesn't need the attention, feel free to scoot up and move through a different area. Remembering the options to add more pressure by leaning forward. And we're just adding pressure to release tension. We're not trying to cut off circulation to anything. So if you're adding a lot of pressure looking for something that it doesn't need, oftentimes you'll find that you'll lose circulation through those areas. You'll feel a tingling sensation or maybe a sharp pain. So those are things that we're avoiding. When you're ready, scoot up a little bit. You can do that with your hand or lift your hip and roll. Rocking side to side when you're ready. Holding if you need to hold in any certain area. Coming back to center, rolling up a little bit further. Rocking side to side when you're ready. If you're noticing a pattern of tension that's on one side of your leg, you may need to roll just up and down that side of your leg. So for some of you, that could be the outside. For some, that's the center. For some, that's the inside. It has a lot to do with the way we walk and the way we hold our hips and our feet. Roll up again when you're ready. Rock side to side when you're ready. And when you're ready, scoot up a little bit more. Rocking side to side when you're ready. Rolling up when you're ready. If you've already reached the top, then I want you to find just one area that may need a little more attention and focus on that area. Rocking side to side when you're ready. And coming back to our ankle. We're going to release the therapy balls out from underneath our leg. Grab a hold of one of your blocks. We're going to place it directly behind us. Keep the therapy balls in the bag, and we're going to set them on top of our block at its lowest level. And then we're going to lower down and place our neck, the curve of our neck, on top of the therapy balls. As we let our head relax back, we can allow the balls to kind of rest in the center of our neck. That allows our chin to lift up, our head to relax. And we're making sure the balls are not resting on our spine, but rather on the muscles on each side of our spine. And these balls are designed to be able to fit perfectly around our spine. Allow the muscles of our neck to completely soften and let go. And begin to slowly tuck our chin, adjust the balls up to the very base of our head. Allowing our chin to soften down towards our throat. Begin to gently rock side to side, adding pressure to one side, then the other. Coming back to center. Let's move the therapy balls back to the center of our neck, allowing our chin to lift up. Giving permission for our shoulders to sink heavy, our neck to relax. And then when you're ready, rock side to side. Bringing our head back to center. Lifting our head, remove the therapy balls and the block. Place the block off to the side. Take the therapy balls out of the bag. And then we're going to place them underneath our upper traps so that soft tissue at the top of our shoulder, between our spine and the end of our shoulder at the highest point where it's above the spine of our scapulus, the spine of that bony part of our shoulder blade. And then make sure you get both sides. Know that you're not going to get them perfectly aligned, and that's okay. Hold on to where you have them placed. If your knees are bent, extend your legs. Be prepared that you might have to move them underneath you a little bit more if you have to extend your legs. And then we're letting our arms relax out for a moment. Again, don't get hung up that they're not perfectly aligned. If you're in the soft tissue of our upper part of our traps, then you're in the right place. So any soft area that's not our spine or our shoulder blade. Taking a moment to soften here. Let our bodies surrender over the top of the ball. Drawing our awareness back to our bodies. Let's bend our elbows, lift our hands straight up to the ceiling. If this is enough pressure for your shoulders, stay here. If you desire more, bend your knees. Notice how that feels. Make sure you're not on any bony structures. If you would like a little bit more, lift your hips a little bit or a lot. Lowering our hips back down, releasing our elbows down, let our arms relax. Let's release the therapy balls out from underneath our shoulders. Keeping our eyes closed, pause for a moment, resting on the floor. Checking in with our breath. Feel our breath begin to expand our hips. Feel them move away from each other with each inhale. And feel them soften to neutral with each exhale. And feel our breath begin to expand and open our low back. From the top of our hips up to the base of our ribs. Begin to feel our breath expand the back side of the lowest part of our ribs. Keeping our eyes closed, let's slowly roll to our right side. Press ourselves up and find our way back to a comfortable seat. Bringing our hands together in front of our heart, sealing in all that we found in our bodies today, all that we let go of, all that we were able to move. Take it as a gift to place in our heart, a gift that we can take off of our mat into our day-to-day life, a gift of noticing how our body changes, how we move once we start moving again, allowing everything to return to some sense of balance as it begins to adjust and shift. Remembering that when we come off of our mat, that water is super important in helping all of this fascia that we broke up to move through our body. We want to make sure to get plenty of that as well. Take that all with us. Namaste.